Today we're finishing up with the background work on our frog page, so stick around. Hello colorists, welcome to PencilStash, a weekly show all about coloring. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing to get all the new content, and be sure to hit that like button if you're enjoying my videos. Hey there Pencil Stashers! Today is the final video of the frog page series, and we're going to finish strong with our background. And this is what we're ultimately going to end up with, something nice and colorful, so let's jump right back into it. If you remember from the last video, my intention was to have our light source coming from behind the frog towards us, meaning the light would be shining towards our frog. So I'll be starting by putting down some of this cream color in the water to add as a reflection of that light. And I'm putting it in from side to side, horizontal strokes, and mostly on the left side of our page here to start. Then I'll move to the area above our frog, and I'm going to use this color to sort of create the sky because it's going to be twilight. And I know it's a little bit difficult to see on camera, this super light color, but I'm just kind of building in kind of a semicircle sort of shape, which I'll later surround with the silhouettes of trees and brush and all kinds of things, just to give it kind of that illusion of the jungle or the swamp at twilight. Now I'll build around that cream with this chartreuse green color, and this will act as that transition color, slightly darker than the previous, between the cream and some of the greens and the blues that I'll be adding later. I'll add in a bit of gray-green light to the sky as well, just to give it a little bit of color variation. Same approach here too, using those back and forth horizontal strokes and very light pressure. Now, side note, I've already imagined where my horizon line is on the page, meaning that line kind of between the water, where the water ends and the sky starts. So I'm using the bottom stems of these lilies over here on the right where they entered the water. Just above that is kind of where I'm putting in that imaginary guideline. For the water, I'm going to switch to a pale sage since I want it to be just a bit darker than that gray-green light was giving me up in the sky. All right, let's put some real green into the water now with this tropical rainforest color. And putting in this color into the water kind of implies it's a reflection of all of the green foliage that surrounds the swamp that would be reflecting into the water. And again, just use very, very light pressure. Now for the fun part, at least the part that I found the most fun on this page. I'm going to start building in that implied tree line, foliage, the brush around the perimeter of our sky. And I'm going to use the same color, this tropical rainforest, with very light pressure. I'm just going in, building in some random kind of organic shapes in a semicircle around the sky, just to give a little bit of a foundation to start with. And you'll see what I mean as I go. And no need to make this perfect. Again, this is just kind of that first foundational layer. I'll be adding a lot more layers on top of this. Next layer is Cobalt Turqouise, which has a lot more teal in it. And we're going to build this right over top of that tropical rainforest color that we just put down, except that we're going to leave about an inch of that color peeking out, about an inch of reveal. and you'll notice that I'm holding my pencil just a little bit differently now. I find it's a lot easier to get the random, kind of organic, abstract shapes that I want by holding my pencil about halfway down the shaft and using the flat side of the pencil tip to apply my color. So just a little tip you guys might want to try, holding your pencil a little bit differently, just in case you're, maybe not getting the desired effect. So imagine you guys, as you do this, are just kind of building in bushes and brush and fern shapes towards the bottom, and then some taller kind of tree type canopy shapes up at the top. And again, all very abstract since we want our frog to continue to be the star of the show. And again, you really don't need, very good drawing skills to do this. It's really just kind of the shape just to build in the illusion that we are in the jungle at twilight. Now I'm using my ruler a bit here. It's just a clear quilting ruler, just to make sure that the edges are nice and crisp. As I was putting my color down, they were getting a bit wonky. And I'm hoping to frame this at the end to send to my godmother, so I want it to look nice and neat. And I've switched colors now to one of my all-time favorites. This one is called Outer Space by Crayola. It's a nice deep dark navy, and it'll work perfectly on our page here. And I'm using the same technique as I did previously, where I layer on top of the tree line, kind of remembering to leave those layers peeking out beneath, just to, again, to create that illusion of dimension. I'm adding in some dark umber now, again, just to deepen this just a bit more. And I'm using very light pressure. So as I'm putting this down, it's not even really reading as brown. It's just adding some depth to our blues. All right, just going in and fine-tuning a little bit. I'd like some areas to be a bit brighter, a bit more vibrant. So I'm adding in a bit of Cobalt Turquoise. Using some gray-green light to soften up my transitions between the light, kind of open area sky, and our tree foliage. And since this is a light color, it's also helping me to kind of blend a little bit of these colors together as well. And speaking of blending, let's try to blend a bit here at the corner just to see where we're at. Okay, not bad, not bad, but I definitely want it a bit darker, a bit bluer. So I'm going to go back into the water area with this outer space blue color. Okay, that's better. Let's blend again to see what we get. I like that. Let's keep going with our blender here. And here's what we end up with. Very soft, very abstract. I really just wanted to give the illusion of a place for our little frog to live. Now I completely forgot about the veins that we left in this lily pad here, so I'm going to color those in real quick with two kind of vibrant light green colors, but I'm also going to go back in over top of that with a little bit of this dark umber color in just a few places, just to dirty it up a little bit, just a real light layer right over top of that green. Now I'm going to complete the flowers and our butterfly in the same palette, just to give a little bit of balance to both the left side and the right side of the page here. And I'm using just very muted tones in creams and henna, because again, I just don't want anything to compete with our frog. You know, we have a very bright background here, a very bright frog. I really don't want these to be a competing color. So just a very muted tone on our lilies and our butterfly. Now, using a combination of black and brown, I'm going to go in now and try to create some abstract shapes of leaves and ferns and bushes and cattails type of foliage that would likely line the perimeter of our pond or our swamp here. And I've started out very light outlines, just kind of putting in like a placeholder shape just to see if it was kind of what I was going for. Then I'm going to go back in and beef them up. I'm also going to use this black to beef up that imaginary shoreline that I mentioned earlier, just to kind of darken it up. And I'm going to make a little shadow with the black under our lily pad. I'm going in now with another pass on our shoreline, same technique, just with brown this time. Again, just to add the illusion of some dimension. Okay, I don't like how kind of open this part is. It just seems a little bit unbalanced with how full the right side of the page is. So I'm going to go back in right here and just create some abstract shapes of some more bushes and brush with a couple of greens. Then softening up everything with my blending pencil. Okay, so it's twilight in our swamp, so a nice finishing touch would just be to add in some stars, some fireflies, or whatever you want to call them. So I'm going to bring out my Uniposca paint pen to add in some little white dots, and I'm going to put them in the sky as well as in the reflection in the water. All right, she is all done. Our picture is complete. Now all we need is a frame to put it in. And voila, it is officially done. And I'm going to be sending this to my godmother, Dawn, to thank her immensely for my new coloring book. So, so sweet of you, Dawn. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Pencil Stash. If you did, please hit that like button. It helps new folks find my channel. And speaking of new, if you're new to Pencil Stash and you want to see more of my content as it gets uploaded, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell as well. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I will see you next time.